Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle and Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Godwin Sunday. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times on channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. And now to the news in details. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has criticized the 70,000 new minimum wage approved for workers by President Bola Tinubu, describing it as grossly inadequate to cover workers' basic needs, including transportation, food, and housing. The former president accused labor leaders of betraying workers by prioritizing personal interest over collective welfare. The Trade Union Congress has backed a Lagos-based National Youth Service Corps member, Ushi Ogwamayi, also known as Arayi, who claimed to have received threats from criticizing President Bola Tinubu's administration. TUC President Festus Osifo says that the Corps member spoke out of frustration, advising the government not to go after her but to be tolerant of critics. The TUC boss, however, advised critics to always criticize the government within the expected norm and with some level of decorum. State governors have launched a fresh push against the planned disbursement of federal allocation to the local government councils in a renewed bid to delay the implementation of the Supreme Court verdict on local government autonomy. Some of the governors during a meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the State House Abuja kicked against payment of the local government allocation through the Central Bank of Nigeria, citing the need to address the multi-billion-dollar debt allegedly incurred by the councils. Presidency officials say the governors used the opportunity of the Iftar dinner to lobby the president and renew negotiation on direct allocations to the council, which has suffered delays. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, has urged troops of the Nigerian Army to make the country safer and more secure to ensure the safety and well-being of all Nigerians. Oluyede gave the charge while addressing the troops at the parade ground during his maiden operational visit to the 12th Brigade Nigerian Army barracks in Lokoja. He commended the troops for their good job and sacrifices in maintaining national unity and security, defending the country's sovereignty and upholding its interests. The Rivers State House of Assembly has issued a notice accusing State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu of alleged misconduct. The lawmaker justified their action based on the Nigerian Constitution. A federal high court sitting in Lagos ordered the arraignment of former chairman of First Bank of Nigeria, Oba Otudoko, and its former managing director, Bisi Onasoya, over an alleged 12.3 billion naira fraud. Delivering the ruling, Justice Anneke held that it is a settled principle of law that a defendant plea must be taken before any application can be considered. The Lagos state government has warned that the state will experience above normal rainfall in 2025, with potential flash floods in some areas that could disrupt commercial activities, pose to risk to lives and properties, and cause flight delays. The Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, disclosed this in a statement on its official X handle. According to Wahab, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has forecasted an early onset of the raining season beginning in the last week of March, with the season expected to extend until early December. The Nigerian Senate has dismissed allegation by suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan regarding the planned protest regarding the planned arrest upon a return from the Inter-Parliament Union event in New York. Senate spokesman Adeyemi Aderamodu, in a press statement, says President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and the Senate have no reason to engage with Akpoti Uduaghan on the matter. Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, says 1,319 deaths have been recorded in the country's ongoing diphtheria outbreak. The NCDC made this known in its latest situation report from the National Diphtheria and Emergency Operations Center, published via its official website. Diphtheria is a serious bacterial infection caused by a Corynebacterium diphtheria. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has uncovered a fraudulent syndicate impersonating the agency to scam foreign companies using fake documents. The agency announced the discovery in a statement by Professor Bojisola Christiana Adeyeye, FAS, its Director General, following a petition from Tani Amani Trading Group, Abu Dhabi, UAE, which fell victim to the scam. It was revealed that the syndicate is being led by one Ikoro Mang Ifendu, who was arrested on February the 7th in Aba, the Abia state capital, for allegedly defrauding foreign firms by posing as a NAFDAC official. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, state governors have outlined ambitious plan to boost capital expenditure. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. In business, state governors have outlined an ambitious plan to boost capital expenditure in the state to address the infrastructure deficit in their various domains. The governors have earmarked 17.51 trillion naira to fund capital projects in their 2025 budget. They had earmarked 11.34 trillion naira to fund similar projects in 2024, but could not secure a sufficient fund as the state recorded a deficit of 3.98 trillion naira last year. This indicates that the subnationals plan to spend 28.85 trillion on infrastructure upgrade to boost economic development in 2 years following the improved revenue allocations from the federal government. The Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria says it has recovered over 2.1 trillion in debt despite its challenges since its inception. It also stated that the corporation currently has over 2,000 cases in court, as some of APCAN's debtors owe nearly 5 trillion, adding that the debtors who borrowed this money do not use it for the purpose for which the money was borrowed. This was disclosed in Lagos during a press conference by the agency's head of corporate communications, Jude Nwahuzu. The Deputy Governor of Corporate Services of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Imam Usoro, has called for the inclusion of women and other undeserved groups in the financial ecosystem. Usoro made this call during a presentation titled Accelerating Women's Financial Inclusion, Unlocking Opportunities for Growth and Investment at Citibank's inaugural Women's Central Banking event held in London, United Kingdom, in commemoration of this year's International Women's Day. During her presentation, Usoro reiterated the Apex Bank's commitment to driving bold, data-driven policies that accelerate access to finance, drive investment, and foster a more inclusive and dynamic economy. Nigeria is rapidly solidifying its position as a leader in Africa's fourth industrial revolution, with its digital transformation markets projected to rise to $22.82 billion by 2029. The report highlights Nigerian budgeting adoption of artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, and robust broadband infrastructure, positioning the nation at the forefront of the continent's digital evolution. Driving this transformative growth are the finance and telecommunication sectors. The Dangote Oil Refinery has commenced the start-up of its polypropylene facility in Lagos and the polypropylene facility. In a statement by the group, the facility will be officially unveiled soon. The starting up of Dangote's 830,000 metric tons per year polypropylene site was one of the last outstanding milestones for the oil refining and petrochemical complex in its commissioning sequence, which has been taking place since January 2024. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump says he has no intentions to ease steel and aluminum tariffs as Washington edges towards an all-out trade war with major partners. Since January, Donald Trump has imposed levies on multiple trading partners and imports, including steel and aluminum, rolling financial markets and fanning fears that his plans could tip the world's biggest economy into a recession. The president told reporters aboard Air Force One he did not plan to make exceptions to the tariff, saying, "No, I have no intentions of that." End of quote. Kurdish-led forces that control large swathes of northern Syria says 9 people from the same family were killed Sunday night in a bombing it's blamed on Turkey. A Turkish occupation aircraft bombed a farming family south of Kobani in the late hours of Sunday night, the Syrian Democratic Forces says in a statement. In addition to the 9 members of the Otman Abdul family killed in the strikes, the SDF said 2 wounded relatives were taken to hospitals. Most of the victims were children, according to graphic photo of the aftermath that the SDF posted to Telegram. 21-year-old Sebastian from Laurelton, Long Island, has become the first person in New York State to be cured of sickle cell anemia using the innovative Lyfgenia gene therapy. This pioneering treatment, administered at Cohen Children's Medical Center, offers a beacon of hope for countless individuals battling this debilitating disease. President Donald Trump's administration has begun mass layoff of President Donald Trump's administration has begun mass layoffs at Voice of America and other U.S.-funded media, making it clear its intent to gut outlets long seen as critical for U.S. influence. Just a day after all employees were put on leave, staff working on a contractual basis received an email notifying them that they were terminated at the end of March. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says Washington had no authority to dictate its foreign policy after U.S. President Donald Trump urged Tehran to end support for Yemen's Houthi forces. Trump said Washington had launched decisive and powerful military action to end the threat posed to Red Sea shipping by Yemen Houthi rebels and demanded Tehran's support must be ended immediately. The rebels, who have controlled most of the Yemen for more than a decade, are part of the axis of resistance of pro-Iran groups staunchly opposed to Israel and the United States. In sports, Super Eagle players are expected in their Kigali, Rwanda, as Nigerians begin preparations for the first of two crucial 2026 World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda national team. The Nigerians team camp opened with new head coach Eric Chili and its backroom staff leading the pack ahead of Friday's clash against the Amavubis, who are also the group leaders in the series. Still on sports, Nigeria will play host to 5 other African countries: Kenya, Uganda, Namibia, Tanzania, and Sierra Leone from March 26 to April the 6th, as the 6 countries via 4 Africans sole ticket to the 2026 ICC Under-19 Men's T20 World Cup, which will be held in Zimbabwe and Namibia. The Tafawa Balewa Square Cricket Oval and the University of Lagos Cricket Oval will host the round-robin matches between the countries, as both grounds have been optimized and certified ready for the regional tournament. Nigerians Junior Yellow Greens and their 5 opponents will compete for the continent's sole ticket to the World Cup. That's it on Global TV News Cycle. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. I am Godwin Sunday. Thank you for watching.